Hey, welcome back. We got Ryan Helfert on this episode talking about his urban hunts, how he's knocking on doors, how he's been extremely successful this year. So check it out. Tell your buddies about us. Share it. Please subscribe so it can reach more people and enjoy the episode. Today's episode is sponsored by the Game Plan 2 in Montgomery. They specialize screen printing, embroidery, promotional items, and more. Call or text Olivia at 812-787-0507 for a free quote. Check her out. Hey, we're back. We have myself, Kane, and Craig again.
And Ryan Helfert.
Ryan Helfert, explain yourself. Why are you here? Now, where are you from? What do you do?
I'm from the very southern tip of Indiana, right on the Kentucky border, so the Ohio River. And I run and operate Hoosier Whitetails Taxidermy down in Boonville, Indiana. And I try to kill deer, but it's hard.
It is hard. That's true. We found that out a lot this year, it seems like.
You've had some pretty good luck, though, it seems like. And where you're from, it's not like up here. It's a lot more suburban, right?
Yeah.
So you are doing a lot of knocking on doors and the whole Lee Ellis game, right?
Yep. So my whole life, I've hunted out in the sticks, out in the country. And then watching Lee Ellis and Seek One has actually completely changed my mindset because I live next to big suburban areas, and it's kind of crazy because it's the third biggest city in Indiana is Evansville, and that's where I'm at. And you can drive through those spots and you won't see deer, but they're there. if you do some door knocking, you'll find them. But don't even try because I've knocked on every door. So,
to start it off, just because I'm intrigued, and Kane brought it up last time, talking about knocking on people's doors, you never know who you're going to get. So tell the story of the guy you knocked on that some people might know.
So I basically get on, at the time I was using Hunt Stand, and I would basically go find the biggest lots of timber in these urban areas, and I would drop a ping, and I would basically, I'd go knock on their door. But there was this one guy for a couple years. He had a huge gate on his driveway, and I never could get in there. So I just happened to be on that. I happened to be on that road one day, and I seen a big van going in there saying cleaners. It was actually called Don's Cleaner. It was going through the gate. It was like a cleaning company. So there's my chance. I got in right behind them, and I'm going down this giant brick driveway, huge flake, and then I see the house, and I thought, oh, Lordy, there's 3 vans out there. They're yellow. They say Don's Cleaners, and they got these giant tubes going through the front door. So I realized it's like a carpet cleaning business, and which is terrible because now I'm walking up there, and the front door is already open, so I can't knock, and the machines are going nuts. I can't just like peek in and yell. So.
And this is a big house.
And by the way, I have no idea whose house this is because it's under a different not like an LLC, but it's under like a management name. So I don't know who lives here or if anybody does live here. So I just walk in the front door right behind this dude. He's looking at me, I'm looking at him. And there's 2 staircases that spiral up the side, just like you would see in a movie. And I just start yelling, hello. I was already in deep at this point, so I'm like, I'm committed. So all of a sudden, here comes this old boy, comes down this. I mean, he's fit, like physically fit, but he looks older but looks young at the same time. He comes down these steps, and he instantly knows I don't work there because I'm decked out in camo. Like
He's trying to blend in with the cleaners, and he's all camo down. Oh my God.
He goes, what do we got here?
Say John Cena.
I stuck my hand out, and I introduced myself, and he introduced himself as Don. And dude, I just started talking to him about he owns 30 acres, which is huge in the urban.
Yeah.
Like, I already know somebody's got to be hunting this 30 acres, but I'm trying to talk to him about conservation because the deer numbers are insane. People have to have high fences around their gardens, like their landscapings are trash. So I'm talking to him about all that, and he goes, "Wait, you like want to shoot a deer?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I want to shoot a bunch of them. And, so I had to explain to him about shooting deer. Long story short, he told me no. that he didn't feel comfortable, which is a lot of the answers I get. But then I asked him his name again, told him I'd like to come back and talk to him again sometime. And he told me that his name was Don again. And I seen he had a Blue Jay on his shirt. And I was like, man, is that Toronto Blue Jays? So I asked him, I was like, you like baseball? And he goes, yeah, I'm the coach. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I'm not thinking Toronto Blue Jays. I'm thinking like youth league,
Little league baseball.
whatever. And then right before I go to leave, I've been in there for 30 minutes. Right before I go to leave again, I was like, what's your last name? He's like, Mattingly, Don Mattingly. And at this moment, it still hasn't hit me. And I was like, all right, man, thanks. And I was like, are you talking like Toronto Blue Jays? He goes, yeah. And I think he said bench coach and like a assistant manager or something. And I just lost it.
That's hilarious.
I still got to know, but I was in there for 20 more minutes just ripping it up with Don Mattingly, who's legendary Yankees. So
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, he was born, raised there, right? Like,
right,
grew up in
yeah.
Evansville.
He owns a ton, and I'm assuming he owns Don's Cleaner. I'm guessing.
That's
I don't know.
probably good.
But
Makes sense.
And I will be back. I'll be back in there this offseason to knock again to see if I can shed on it.
Well, and just to talk to Don,
Just
too.
like, we're homeboys. And he is setting on a gold mine, and of course, every parcel around it is being hunted. I went and talked to all those people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we've been hunting here for years." And so
you said the population in the urban zone's like astronomical. So are people the yeses you get are people wanting you to kill as many as you can? One
yes.
gone.
So I knocked on in Evansville last year. I knocked on 89 doors. I got 8 yeses.
Wow.
And the 8 yeses I got, they want them killed. They can't stand them. Their landscaping's getting wiped out. Turkeys, they want turkeys killed because the turkeys are ripping up sod in the front yards, scratching it up. So these people want it. A lot of people who told me no, not because they like seeing deer, it's because they don't. They if they have 10 acres, they don't think that's enough to bow hunt. They think it's dangerous. Even if it's a shotgun lot and I'd be 1,000 yards from their house, they just don't understand.
Right.
And they're worried about their neighbors. Oh, we have kids. We don't want a kid to see a dead deer. Things like that. But
So, like on average, like how big are these places?
my biggest is 15 acres. My smallest is a 1/4 acre. And to be honest with you, I haven't hunted all my yeses because I basically I've been in all of them, put cameras in a couple of them, and there's more than enough deer for me to hunt.
That's what I was gonna ask. How many places are you putting cameras up? Are they
This-
letting you put cameras up? All your yeses. Yeah.
One and 2 of the guys let me manipulate their woods however I want. One of them let me put in 2 food plots, which my brother came and helped me. We put in basically almost a total of 1 acre of food plots on this small, tiny parcel in somebody's backyard.
So did they know you're actually bringing more deer?
Well, so they think if you do that, the deer eat that food instead of their bushes, which I guess you can look at it both ways, but
And you're getting some decent deer, right?
so
it's just like
there's no
Lee Ellis.
There's
type
no
deer?
Lee Ellis type deer, and that's one of 2 things. One, that's Lee Ellis gets a lot of leads. That's how he finds the 200s. He
People
gets told
call.
about them.
People call, hey,
Right.
there's potential giant.
And
You see in his episodes, he's saying, "I got a picture
He
of this
tells
deer,"
you.
and then he hunts
He
it
tells you.
down. Like
Yeah,
he's
he tells
literally
you.
looking for like landmarks.
Right,
in
that
his
is
video.
not a secret. And I honestly, I don't think Evansville has that type of deer because they would get posted to Facebook by homeowners. Deer get posted in Evansville on Facebook all the time, but they're 160s. They're your normal deer, which is fine.
Right. No, that's a great.
And last year I had a few of them on camera that were over 160. This year I had big mature bucks, just not high scoring bucks, big 8-pointers, stuff like that, which is fine. But you can go to some of these urban spots and see 70 deer.
It's entertaining. If you don't see
it's the
deer,
most
you
fun.
watch cars.
It's the most fun deer hunting.
Well, some of the videos you send me off your cameras and stuff are like you got the houses and stuff are in the background. Like there's like on one of them, there's like a blue truck. I forget what it is in the background. And every time I might kindle, this is ridiculous.
I've got a video of a buck breeding a doe, and 60 yards downhill is a woman blowing her leaves.
Oh, it's crazy.
But that's got to be like, as far as like your scent and all that, like
Dude, it's actually
Is it work? Is it?
it's different. I mean, it's not. It's the does smell you. They don't blow. They just don't.
They smell it.
They
And they're like,
they go around you. They don't want to be there with you.
But they do know something's wrong.
They
Like,
know
they do
something's
avoid it
The
still.
big mature bucks are just like out in the country, dude. They know when you're in those woods. They smell your ground scent. And what I've learned from last year is the colder it gets, the better it gets, because I'm assuming less people are outside in their yards.
Okay, yeah, that
And
makes sense. Yeah.
They move a lot more. And honestly, I told myself that going into this year, and I couldn't pass up a couple 140s. But if I would have killed some of
So-
the big mature bucks.
You say a couple 140. So you're getting on top of your Indiana tag, like your just regular
Yeah.
state tag. How many more buck tags are you getting?
So you can kill in the urban zone. You get 10 extra tags. You
My.
can kill. Don't quote me on this. You can kill 10 does and no bucks, or you can kill 1 buck and 9 does.
Okay.
It's earn a buck, so you have to shoot a doe. But if you don't want to earn a buck, you could technically use your state tag.
yeah.
So
And then that's strictly any urban zone. There's no like
That's all across
county,
Indiana.
no, any urban.
which is not very many urban zones. I don't know this number, but I remember looking at a map, and for some reason I feel like I only remember 6 areas in the whole state.
What's Bloomington like? Is there urban?
Yes,
Is there much urban?
Southern Bloomington is.
But
Giants.
a guy I work with, like he lives in Bloomington, and he's had several pictures through his window of a nice one. I'll show you after this.
I'm surprised
And
some
it's
of these
nice.
people aren't going up there and doing that, dude. I don't know actually Bloomington or Evansville's closer.
When we going? You know how to door knock. I'll come with.
Dude, I've gotten good.
Let's go.
I've gotten good at the door knocking.
You got a
dude.
script. You kind of have an idea every time.
Yeah, I basically took it off of Lee Ellis. I didn't pay for his class. I just watched all his videos. And all he talks about is when you get a no, change conversation, and then go back the next year. Just go back next year.
Yeah.
And eventually they trust you. And I have like 4 or 5 maybes from this season. I didn't bother them back in the season. I'm going to wait till shed season. Go in there, talk to him again. Let them see me on the property. Let them see me leave the property without tearing anything up.
I mean, you can imagine some random guy shows up to your house. Hey, I want to come and shoot deer with my weapon. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
I can imagine. I can see where people are like, yeah, no.
Well, what's even crazier is if you look at Evansville city limits, it's not big at all. So you can use a gun in all these urban zones. I don't. And I don't think very many people do. And I think that's why there's big bucks.
And that's what I found out just the other day. It's like once gun season comes in, you can use a rifle
Until
the
January 30th.
the end of the season.
I can deer hunt. I can deer hunt. So let's clear this up. We're saying urban because of the houses. In Indiana, it's not called urban. It's called deer reduction zone.
yeah.
We call it urban because of houses. But yes, in our urban zones, you can hunt till January 30th with a rifle or a bow.
For does or bucks both?
Both.
So you just buy a license or what? How do you hunt the deer reduction zone?
I have a lifetime license, so I do think that I do think that if you want to, like, if you don't have a lifetime, I think you have to go online and buy a reduction zone tag.
It's probably like
Every time.
$15. I think.
Every time you shoot.
Yeah.
You can
Probably.
shoot
It's like
10,
a-
but you got to buy it.
Yeah.
Probably like
But
a
you don't.
same as-
Lifetimers don't. Dude, that if the DNR ever wanted
That
to just
thing's
make a
worth
bunch of
10
cash,
That's worth $10,000. How much would you be willing to pay for a lifetime license for Indiana?
think about it. If you're just say 30 years old and you hunt till you're 70, maybe 60, just
30
roughly
years.
30 years, you're spending
I'm
200
spending 200
plus.
right now. What is it? I'm not good at math.
30 times 200 is 6,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
in every other
10's
state,
too much then.
I look at all these other states that still have them.
That's duck. That's small game.
Oh, that's true.
The only thing I have to buy is a
Stamps.
federal duck stamp.
Yeah, stamps.
$25 or whatever it is.
That's fish. No, fishing's different.
Fishing.
But hunting.
Well, I have it all. For all of it, so you get hunting, fishing, trapping. I want to say whenever my dad bought it for me in 2001, which I was like 9 years old, I want to say it was only $700.
Yeah, they were cheap.
So now if you go to these other states and look, they're only $600.
Right now.
Tennessee lifetime license. I just saw it because I was looking up their tags for next year. $600 lifetime license.
Even for
buy it?
out of state.
But you can't buy it out of state.
No, but if I went and lived there for a year, I could buy it.
Does it
Then always
stay
have
good?
my Indiana and always have my Tennessee.
Does it stay good then?
Yeah, it's good for lifetime no matter where you live.
Wow. That's crazy.
So, like, think about it. When I was in college, if somebody would have told me that, I could have bought my lifetime in Illinois, and I didn't.
Wow.
And I lived there for 2 years.
Illinois is expensive.
I was a resident for 2 years. I didn't do it.
College, yeah. Dang. Man. Yeah, that would be nice. Well, that's a lot of deer. So, okay, so how many you got that many? How many deer you've shot a lot of bucks this year. How many deer did you shoot this year?
I technically shot 4 bucks. So, yeah, I don't remember the doe number, but
Well, that big 11 at Crane, that was one of them, wasn't it?
no. So yeah, crane. So I actually shot a decent buck the day before. I would say 130s. Definitely high 120s, 130s. Shot him in the shoulder, didn't find him. Now, we could go into a whole story about the beast broadhead.
Yeah, you can do your spiel after you tell us how
Yeah.
many bucks you
But the next day, I didn't find him. Next day, I shot what I call Green County 11 pointer. It's a free buck tag for me, and I only get 100 a couple days a year. So a Green County 11 pointer is a spike. But he did have 6-inch spikes, so
That's a good
he
deal.
scored 30 inches.
That league.
31 inches. He had good
So
man.
in the urban zone though, you shot some.
So-
So the deer is that
Right. So
you shot a decent buck.
after Crane, which was like October 26th.
Yeah, this is how to go back to Ryan. This is how I met you.
Yep.
And just going to that. So the deer camp at Crane. That's when we've talked about deer camp. Ryan was one of the guys up there.
All right.
One of the OGs, I guess.
I love that. I love going up to that, dude. That's a blast. And like I said, it's only a couple days for me to hunt that place, so I'm slinging. If it's got horns, I'm shooting.
Me and Logan actually work up there, so we're
Yeah.
up there all the time, hunt there year round. Deer camp, we have a lot of buddies in there. Craig's there, Ryan's there, a couple of Ryan's buddies, and several others. So they all have basically a free tag for the weekend. So
So they're flinging.
they're slinging arrows.
Yeah. So then I left that and I got drawn for another military base for a reduction hunt. So it was another free tag. And that was on November 3rd. And I went up there and shot he scored 141. He was a 10-pointer with 2 kickers out of the base. So technically a 12-pointer. Then 2 days later, I was getting a really big buck on Urban Zone. But 2 days later, due to cell cameras making as efficient as can be, I got a picture of a buck that I had 3 years of history with that I knew was 5.5 years old, 400 yards out my back door. So at 4 p.m., it's pouring down rain, 4 p.m. Central Time, pouring down rain. It stopped. I looked at my wife and I said, I know where he's at. He went up in the peninsula to bed and bumped does around. I can run back there with my bow right now and kill that deer.
She said, "Go, baby, go."
Hearing about him, just go. I got 3 years of history. I've passed this deer 5 times over the years. I've got video camera footage of him. I run back there. I was in my work clothes. I threw my rain jacket on, grabbed my bow, my rangefinder, and a grunt call. I climb up in this 1990 ladder stand from Walmart, and I get up there. I'm sitting there for 2 minutes, and I go, "Ruh," and I look up, dude.
There
He
you go.
stood
What is
up.
it about wearing work clothes?
Dude,
to kill
yeah,
That's what I was doing.
He stood up. He come barreling down right to my rope scrape. I yelled at him, stopped him, and I shot him right in the butt. Shot him right in the butt. Dude, I don't know what it is. You know, you rush in there. It don't matter how good you think you are. When you see a deer that you're excited about, it all goes out the window. You don't know it.
I did not know that. I remember the terrible shot. I didn't know.
But here's what's crazy. I didn't know I shot him in the butt. I thought I double lunged him. The shot was back, but quartered. I thought I double lunged. But it was still pouring down rain. So I jumped down on the stand, went to impact, saw bloods in the bubble, or bubbles in the blood, and I went home because I seen him run off, and I called a guy with the drone, and he came out the next day, and it took him 45 seconds. He flew it up out of my driveway with that infrared, dude. I think he saw 16 deer back there, and then saw one by himself. He said that looks like a dead buck. So, what's even crazier about that is he has a dog named Moose, and we got 3 inches of rain. He said, I want to take my dog back there and see if he can find it after 3 inches of rain.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it took the dog like a minute and 30 seconds to go 160 yards.
That's pretty cool.
Right to my buck. And I was like, so,
Wow.
so then 2 days later, I go to an urban zone spot that I had not hunted, but I did put a food plot on it. And I had 3 or 4 decent bucks, but they all had bad genetics in this spot. They all have one nice side and one junk side. And so I didn't expect much, and I really didn't know if I would shoot any of them. But I'd sat in there for an hour, and I'd already seen 4 bucks. And sure enough, I seen one. He would have easily been a 140-inch deer, but he only had one good side. And I seen him come around, and I wanted to get a better look at him, and I grunted, and he flipped a switch, came all the way back, put his head in my rope scrape at 14 yards. And I'm like, well, I'm not shooting. Drew back and shot and smoked him. And yeah, so he only scored 101, but his one side was 66 inches. So he would have been
So this was all in the course of what, 6, 7?
You said like
10 days?
2 days later. 2 days later.
So it was technically like a week, but it was only in 4 sets, and it was all less than 5 hours.
Wow.
Holy.
You want to talk about efficiency?
Yeah, I didn't get cold. I didn't. I worked harder getting to the stands than I did hunting this year, so it was wild.
That's
So-
awesome.
That is awesome.
So then I was tagged out. My wife had a buck tag, and we went right to the same stand that I shot my 143 in, 400 yards out my back door, and she shot. I mean, it was a 105-inch 8-pointer. It was the second deer. It came to 14 yards. We were in the stand for 20 minutes.
It's still cool though, getting your wife out, shooting another deer.
Then she got that one
Yeah. So
with the old, I don't know, Ford, Chevy, whatever.
yeah. So it was a week later. We thought we were done deer hunting, and she calls me and said she's crying. She's upset. Well, the airbag's deployed, but she hit a 164-incher in her Chevy Equinox.
God.
Totaled her car. Glad our daughter wasn't with her, and I'm glad she was okay. But interesting story on this one. She called me and said she just hit a really big buck, and I said, "Was he big like the 8-pointer you shot?" Because to her,
Right.
Yeah.
and she's like, "I know what a big deer is, Ryan. He was a giant." And I'm like, "Okay." She's still crying, so I don't know what she saw. And I pull up to her. It took me 20 minutes to get there. And interesting. Shout out to Spencer County Fire Department and Sheriff Department. They did a great job. But I did have a couple firefighters meet me before I got to my wife. And they said, "Man, if she hit a deer, we couldn't find it. We've been looking for 30 minutes. And I was like, "Really?" They're like, "Yeah, he's not dead." And to be honest, there's no woods. I mean, there's like one little slither of tree line and all cornfields, so there's not a lot of places to look. And they told me that, and I was like, "Well, I'm gonna look anyways." And they said, "I wouldn't look, man. We looked pretty hard. I don't think it's dead." And I kid you not, I found it in 30 seconds. And come to find out, 2 days later, 2 of the firefighters were hunting that deer hard. That deer had been out in the field with this doe for a few days. Everybody had been watching from the highway, and through the grapevine, I found out that those. I'm sure they didn't want me to find it.
Yeah, so
They
they
didn't want me to
definitely
look.
found it. Yeah.
And then
Old boys wanted the deer.
and then I posted it to Facebook and said, "Sorry, Spencer County boys," and the pictures started flooding in. All kinds of people knew about that deer. They didn't see him from the highway. But what's interesting is where she hit him. Somebody sent me a picture 5 miles to the north from where she hit him, and somebody sent me a picture 2 miles from the south.
No kidding.
That's insane.
The way a crow flies. So
How many?
it had a
miles?
7-mile range, which kind of makes sense. It's river bottoms. There's not a lot of timber. There's a lot of fingers. So he's just walking fingers to different patches.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. On some of these deer, it seems like they're tight knit into their range, and then some of them, it's just like they go and never stop. But then they can do that, and then they're back home in a blink of an eye.
But it's like you said, the type of terrain they're in makes a world of difference.
They have to work harder to find more does. But the other thing too, I got to thinking is, is middle of the rut. I mean, pressure.
Mhm.
And if you got small patches of woods that people are hunting, that deer could have been living out in those drainages in those fields.
Oh yeah.
Where he's safe.
Yeah.
And the only reason she hit him is because he jumped out of a drainage over a little bridge to get up across the highway. So he might have just been living out there to be safe.
Now he's in Ryan Helfert's taxidermy shop.
He'll be mounted soon.
Put him to good use.
What'd you say? 162.
164 and 6/8. He's got a little road rash right there.
Got a little
Dinged up. I think he lost a little piece right there, but
God. Well, going back to like talking about like Evansville and Bloomington, I heard a guy talking about like the urban or whatever places where he thinks every like major city that is like strategically there for a reason because the trade routes, or it all has to do with like rivers or ag. And all these major cities are located in places that have super rich soil. And that's why it was settled there and grew. So then you're talking about the mineral in the ground, and that's what's growing giant bugs.
Mm-hmm.
So people were talking like St. Louis, Missouri, they probably have giants in there, that type of area.
Absolutely do.
I've never heard that,
honestly.
But yeah, Georgia's not really known for giants, is it? Or is it?
It is, but they have something we don't, and it's what Lee Ellis always talks about. It's full of nutrients. They have kudzu, what grows from those trees over there. And that's what all those summertime deer eat, and he said it blows them up. And I think that's why they get into genetic freaks.
I don't know if this is true or not, but I also heard that Georgia, right there around Atlanta, they transported Midwestern deer
from Wisconsin.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's from Wisconsin. That's where the herd came from.
Because if you look at some of them deer, they look like a Midwestern deer. They don't look like a Southern.
Do you think that they're like? I guess they're obviously good genetics, but are they not just getting older in these cities and stuff, and that's why they're getting so many big deer?
That is for sure.
I mean, because like you said, you're seeing
multiple deer that are over 7 years old.
Right. I think that's where they're reaching genetic
potential.
And that goes because there's places that you can't hunt.
Exactly.
It's whole open.
There is a lot. At first, last year, I would have told you there's not very many hunters. I was completely I was set on that. And then this year, after knocking on that many more doors, there are a lot of hunters. But you get these 200-acre blocks that nobody's letting you hunt. They don't want hunters. And those deer are just living in it like a park. You got these Johnson parks. You got these little parks all over the place. And I think big deer just live in these things. And I don't know. And they survive.
Just dying.
And the people that do hunt, I don't think are using guns. Because you can, but there's nowhere to shoot.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the landowners are, a lot of people, I'm sure, like when you're door knocking, you're probably mentioning bow hunt only.
And I let them know you can use a gun, but I will only use our.
And I'd say that's a lot of people are going that way to get access.
Yeah.
I mean, guns are more, there's danger involved with that, whereas a bow seems a little safer. So.
And if I feel like they like wildlife, I tell them I won't shoot a doe. I'm just, to be honest with you, I don't really have that much interest. Oh, planting trees. I got one guy who gave me permission, and I told him this spring I'm going in there and planting a bunch of trees. And he let me cut a lot of junk out of there.
Well,
and I'm going to go back in there and plant some sawtooth oaks and stuff that I produce in 4 years.
Yeah, going in and being able to manage those properties too. That's almost unheard of, I feel like, but that's awesome that, being able to do that.
Well, you get some of these wealthy people that own these blocks of timber. They've never walked in them.
Right.
And one of the guys that me and my brother has a nice tractor, so I kind of like worked him into helping me, and he's going to be able to hunt some of these spots. But one of the guys said he would love to be able to walk around his property, just make a loop.
Mm-hmm.
So we took a tractor in there and a bush hog and chainsaw, and we cut a car width wide trail around this dude's property. And I get pictures of him walking his dog all the time. An hour later, I got a picture of I don't know how big he would be, but I mean, he was probably 24 inches wide, frame wide, just walking in the same trail.
That's so crazy.
That's awesome.
It's definitely different. I think it's definitely different, but you got to look at it as you're hunting these small properties. You can only hunt certain winds because of your access, but you don't need to go deep. You need to go in 30 yards from it's weird, from the barn or the house. Climb up a tree with the wind blowing in your face, catching the deer walking downwind because the deer stay in the woods.
It is. I mean, I'm sure, like you said, there's a lot of people ask. I mean, you're running into a lot of hunters now. Do you think that's probably because Seek One, just like public land blew up because of THP? It's just, I mean, I'm sure you're going to continue to run into more and more people doing it. Heck, I may be down there next year. You may run into me next door.
I might take you with me.
If I'm there, I'll be the next. Oh, yeah, right.
So what's crazy is the deer that I shot behind my house. The way my house works is I basically live in a 4,000 acre block of timber, and I think there's 89 houses in that, like 4,000 or 98 houses, I can't remember. And so it's really tight. All these houses are off the road. And oh wow, nice. My deer was bedded 20 yards behind somebody's back door, and I shot him about 60 yards from their vehicle. Like I could, if you sat there, I can hear their conversations in the kitchen when their windows are.
That's
So
just
it's almost like I was urban hunting in my backyard, and I've killed him 143. I've killed a 144 out of the same stand and a 140 out of the same stand while those people are outside. So
That's fun.
dude, those deer get used to
they get used to it. They're just like they get used to anything.
and they know how to move through it, and they know how to avoid, and they know when you're in there doing something they don't want you to be doing.
I mean, everybody's like saying about like, you know, back in the day when we didn't have cell cams, going in and checking your cameras too often, you're running them out. Heck, if you do it enough,
They get used to
they
it.
get used to it.
That's what what's his name? Lee and Tiffany. No, yeah, Lee and Tiffany. He swears by that. He swears by if you can be in your property every day, do it.
Man.
That's what he says.
I
Even
believe
just walking, not just like
He said
tractor.
every day, just be in there.
Well, he has a video of his boy riding a dirt bike
Yeah.
out chasing coons off the feeder, and there's deer all around the feeder and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
That's crazy.
That's just
Deer
when you
come
gotta.
back.
That's
They
when you
do,
just
I
got a
mean-
farm dialed in, and you can do whatever you want.
That is true.
Yeah.
It's hard to determine when Lee tells you something, but
One day we'll be on Lee's level, right?
will we? If you keep doing that, shooting 180s on public land.
We're going to have to find some private, I'd say.
Did you guys get EHD up here?
I mean, never heard of it really much, and I didn't hear anybody talking about it. But like, I feel like our deer numbers are down.
Dude, same.
Didn't see the dead deer.
Same.
Never heard of it, but deer numbers are down. So I don't know.
That's what I was.
And
getting
everybody said the same thing.
That's what I was getting at. So we went through like a 2-month drought.
Yeah, no rain. We
So
talked about that.
Everybody thought we'd have EHD. My game trail cameras on public land numbers were way down in some of my best spots, and I've already put in 10 miles this year and haven't found dead deer.
So why are everybody saying their deer numbers are down?
You didn't see anybody posting them during
No,
the season.
very few. Just
I thought we were going to.
normal. I seen some dead in the
Right.
rivers and stuff.
Right.
People posting them in the rivers, which is normal.
Right.
I feel like
Every
any
year.
year.
Yep.
And no, but as dry as the year as it was, not seeing any pictures, but the deer numbers is just very odd. I don't know what was going on with that, but
I don't either.
crazy.
I mean, I went from seeing, I got a spot that you can see 25 does in year out to seeing about 10 of them feeding out in the fields now.
That's how one of our leases. That's how it was, and to our knowledge, we walk it every year. Never find a dead deer, and then it's crazy. Yeah, I don't know.
Talking about getting used to the deer. That's why I hunt by Christine, the horse. The deer go and eat with her. So I just sit by Christine.
So how does that work? Can one feed the horse and feed the deer?
You know, that
It'd
might
still be illegal to hunt. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
need
didn't think about that.
to figure out the laws on bird feeders because you go knocking on these doors in Evansville, and I can show. Well, I don't actually ever show them. I try to explain to some of these people, like, hey, there's a big mature deer in the area, and I would like to go have a chance of hunting him. And they know exactly what deer I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh,
And they will say,
this.
dude, that deer's been in my backyard eating out of that bird feeder right there for 4 years. I always get told no, but I've always thought now, I'm like, I wonder what the rule is on that. How far do I mean, can I set?
Can you feed? Yeah. Is it baiting? At what
Is it
point?
baiting? If I know there's a bird feeder back there, I don't know.
I don't know. Be something to look into.
Only if we can get a
Definitely
CO.
question to ask.
Only if we get a CO on here.
Obviously,
Can we get a CO? Do we have any
I tried.
COs? Do you know any?
I tried.
I try to avoid them most times.
Well, yeah, avoid the guys in green.
yeah, you gotta be careful calling them. Man, I'll tell you guys a funny urban story. This happened last year. I took my brother turkey hunting behind his house, and I've been getting 10 toms, and every one of these toms had 1.5-inch hooks, double beards. So we go back in there. He takes crossbow. We pop this blind up, and we sit on this ridge. So we're up top, and we can see down 3 houses in the valley. They're only 80 yards from us. Put decoys out, strike, and 3 big old toms come flying in, gobbling, strutting. Brother shoots one right in the neck. Looks like a chicken with his head cut.
Mhm.
Takes off running down the ridge, crosses the property line, runs into this woman's backyard. She is in the backyard watering her plants. This turkey runs 15 yards behind her, spraying blood. It's even worse.
Is that a lawsuit waiting to
It's
happen,
worse.
or what is that?
I'm trying to stop this from happening. So I'm running down this hill as fast as I can to grab this turkey before it gets there. And at that time, I'm barrel rolling. I'm 6'6", 220 pounds. I couldn't hit the brakes going. So now I just have to yell, "Hey!" as I'm running because she's going to turn around and see me full camo, face mask on, running to her house. So she turns around. I get it shut down, and she's frightened.
I would imagine.
She didn't have a heart attack.
She said, "There was no turkey in my backyard." I said, "Ma'am, I watched it run right behind you." I said, "It did a shot. We got to find this thing." And at this point, it's already went to the next property.
No.
The next yard.
No head.
Half
head.
She literally looks at me and she says, "If you shot it, you better find it." So I'm taking that as permission. So I see this blood trail going to this next house. My brother's just up on top of the ridge. His hands are on his head like, "What are we doing?" I go to the next house and I door knock. And as I'm waiting for the guy to come to the door, I look down and there's blood on his front porch and blood going across his paved driveway. I mean, just splattered. This turkey went right up to his front door.
My gosh.
So he comes out and I tell him what's going on. And he was actually a really cool guy. He's a really cool guy. And
Get the turkey?
he said, "Go look for it." Yeah, dude, it died 20 yards from his house. It was,
That is insane.
we went body searching for it, and my brother found it right there, 20 yards from the house. I went back, knocked on his door, asked him if he'd like to see it, and he's like, "No, man, I'd rather not." And I was like, "Hey, we're gonna get you.
What about the old
We're
lady?
gonna get you a gift card." So I asked him. I was like, "Should I go talk to her?" He said, "No,
She's crazy.
don't go back over there." So I went back to him this year, and I asked him. I said, "Hey, I'm the guy from Turkey Season." He said, "I remember you." I was just wondering. I hit him with my spew, and I got permission from him now too. And he's got like 9 acres of deer and turkey habitat. So it's another one.
Did I see this right? Was you turkey hunting like last weekend, full decoy setup?
Oh yeah, but
Dude, you're
I shot one.
Did you find
I
it?
didn't find it, dude. I shot this turkey, and it was a bearded hen, and she was laying there deader than a doorknob.
beast broadhead?
Yeah.
You see, can't be using them.
No. What? She gets up. I walk right up on her. She gets up and takes off running. I'm talking, she's running 100 miles an hour. I blood trail this thing. Eventually, she just flies off.
They're tough.
That's
Shooting turkeys with a bow is
tough.
It's a tough game. It's hard.
Dick. So I've shot 4 years in a row. I've shot a turkey with a bow, and every single one of them I've had 2 jakes. It don't matter where I've hit them. It don't matter.
Well, up there in that Kentucky public, that's all we do is chase down wounded turkeys. We're shooting them across.
Every year I'm texting Kane saying, "We shot one. Where you boys at? We need help."
You gotta pin them up in corners to get them down.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great time up there.
I'm going decap next year. I'm getting decap broadheads.
Oh, you got. I
I'm
think
done
that's
shooting
right.
because I think you get in the urban zone with these turkeys. They're just gonna stand there, so I'm just decap.
Can you get a decap? And I know I don't think you're shooting a crossbow,
No.
but can you get a decap broadhead for a crossbow?
Yes.
You can.
Yes.
Oh my, that seems like a game changer.
Yes, it actually is folded up, and the crossbow shoots. I don't remember what it's called, but the crossbow shoots so hard it expands after it shoots. And I think it's 3 blades, 4 inches long.
May have to look into that.
Man, that's wide.
We were talking about your taxidermy business earlier. Do you have you mounted turkeys yet? Have you
No,
looked
I'm
into it?
not.
Not going to?
I don't have time, so I actually still work a full-time job, but I only work that full-time job 4 days a week. So the other 3 days is when I'm doing taxidermy, and I have more deer customers than I could ever do, and even full-time. So last year I had 100 calls. This year I had, just in the first 2 days of gun season, I had 80 calls. So I had way over 100. I don't even know.
And so how many did you do? How many mounts?
So last year I only took in 50.
When did you start?
So I went to school for it 3 years ago.
Okay.
So I went to school up in Ohio at Lone Leaf Taxidermy School, which is like, you hear these guys that are world champions. They have these ribbons and stuff, and they're good, but they don't do that every They don't do like that level.
That quality.
The guy who taught me, actually, he's a world champion that does that quality. Like, he's insane. And he also charges, I think, like $1,500 a deer mount.
And he's probably not doing an overwhelming
No,
amount.
he's not. He shut it down. And so last year I did 50. Actually, I did it for 3 years. So it's been 4 years. Because the year before I did like 13 of just family.
Yeah.
Then I did like 50 the next year. And I realized I don't have the time to like really focus on quality with 50. So this year I actually cut it back to just under 30. And to be honest, I should have took more, but I expected more of like some of my friends and family to kill, so I left those slots open, and just a lot of deer didn't get killed. So
Yeah.
but
Do you
I
ever see yourself doing it more
I want to.
full-time?
I want to. So the reason where that sits is, are me and my wife going to stay in the house we're in forever, and I build a shop? Because right now I converted my garage into a taxidermy shop, and 50 is like the max that I could do in that garage. So I got to decide: are we in our forever home, build a shop? Or are we going to move, then build a shop?
But you also have a pretty cushy job, so you don't.
I have a great job.
You don't want to leave that.
I have a great job, and I get all the government benefits.
Yeah.
Working for the county, and I drive a dump truck every day, so I'm not wore out, and I literally get so much vacation time that I can do it whenever I want. So it's like that job plus taxidermy side money. I make great money.
No turkeys. Not getting into turkeys.
I will probably dabble a little bit, but
There's a lot of detail there.
It does seem like
they
it
say
would
you
be.
can do 3 deer in the mount, takes 1 turkey. That's why turkey mounts cost so much more.
I think
How long does it take you to do a deer mount? I mean, if you're just working on, obviously,
I'm working
you got multiple going at a
Let's
time.
Just take us through it.
that's what they start from start to finish.
So if somebody brings
Telling us we shoot a deer. What do you want us to do with it to make the best mount possible?
all right, Kane shoots the deer. First thing I'm going to do is say, first thing I'm
The throat with the beef.
No. Way worse than a story. This is my wife's deer. That's story in the back. Go
So
ahead.
what I want you to do is I want you to shoot a deer, and the first thing I want you to do is either get a sled or a deer cart or a side-by-side or something to get it out. Do not drag the deer. I don't care if you think you're holding it up high enough. You drag it, the deer looks fine to you, but then when it gets tanned is when the hair follicles fall out. And the deer doesn't look that great because of it. So get it out the best way possible. And then for the life of me, please get on YouTube or call your friend or call your taxidermist to learn how to cape a deer. Do not call Kane Miller, because there's a certain way to cape it to make your deer the best. One, you want to cape it all the way down to the ears, so you have less of a long seam on the back of your deer mount, because that's what holds the deer together and makes it last forever. Also, it's important to cut your cape long enough. Kane brings me his wife's deer, and it is 1.5 feet short.
Oh my god!
I thought
You just cut it off at the neck.
I think he cut it at the shoulder, I think is what happened.
The adrenaline of shooting whitetails doesn't just finish at the pull of the trigger. I mean, that runs through a good night. I still had adrenaline flowing when I was cleaning that thing.
Get somebody to cape it. Cape it. If you can't get it to your taxidermist right away, bag it really good. I'm talking like bag over the face so you don't get freezer burn on the nose, eyes, ears. Bag it really good. Freeze it. You can freeze it for a while before you get it to your taxidermist. But get it to your taxidermist, and then what I do is I get it, I thaw it out, and I skin the cape off of the head, off the skull, and I bag up that cape. Now, if I'm tanning it myself, I get all the meat off the cape, and I turn the eyes, ears, nose, and then I tan it for leather. But this year, I'm sending all my capes to a tannery who's professional at it.
Yeah.
So it'll be even better. So I'm just going to roll them up, freeze them, ship them out. Actually, I'll drive them and then drive back and get them. And from there, it'll take me 10 hours basically.
Per deer.
Per deer.
So you measure the deer when you're getting him, when you get him or get him out, I guess.
I measure him the moment he's brought to me, and then I also measure them after they're tanned. That way I can see if they came back the same size or if they need to be stretched.
Do you order the form then, or
I wait till after they come back.
Okay.
Some guys that are full-time, they order before, and the reason why is they keep a surplus. So if they screw up by a couple inches, they can go back in their back and they have an extra form.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they're ordering 200 forms, they got an extra form laying there. Eventually, I think I'll have the math down so well that I could order them early. but it's not worth the risk of me spending $150 on a form and it being wrong.
Yeah.
So,
In a couple of years, I'm sure you'll see.
I've already kind
Normally
of
they start shrinking. Normally they don't. How far you can stretch one back out. Yeah.
I've already kind of figured that out.
So you're sticking the the hide on the form, putting putty in there.
So from right there. So by the time I start sanding on the form to get it gritty for the cape to stick to it with the glue, the antlers on, getting the clay work around the ears, the eyes, the nose, that's the longest process. That takes me 6 hours. Getting it sewed up. If it's a short seam, I can have it done in 10 minutes. If it's a long seam, I'm sewing. One guy brought me a cut deer all the way down the back. So I told him, I said, that's going to take me over 2 hours to perfect it.
Yeah.
So that's going to come with the price. I'm not going to charge like some of these people charge $25 per inch. I'm not going to do that. I told him, I don't know how long it's going to take me. So basically, we're going to go with my labor rate, what my math comes out to. So then you go through a drying period, 2 to 3 weeks it'll dry, and I'll keep going out there and adjusting the clay to get it just right, and then that's when I'll come back in at the very end and do my finish work, which is the paint around the eyes, the nose, the ear, groom the deer real good, nice, just clean it up and call the customer.
Hey, come pick it up.
Now, one thing I do want to say is your deer mount will not last if you don't keep it in a climate-controlled environment.
Use your garage.
That's what I'm worried about. I've got one in like the one I got from you last year. I put it in my brother. I don't have any more room
Right.
in my house.
I know it's in your brother. Yeah, you gotta keep it in there.
But the bigger 8-pointer that I shot, my wife's deer, another one I have off public, and then one I shot probably 5-6 years ago when I was in college. They're all in my garage, and my garage is 90 in the summer.
Yeah.
Right now, what is it outside? 40. It's 40 right now.
So what's happening is your hide is turned into leather. The cape is turned into leather, and it's expanding and shrinking, expanding and shrinking. That clay inside is getting brittle. It's cracking.
Yeah.
Eventually, that leather is just gonna blow apart around your eyes, around your nose, around your ears, your seams.
You're scaring me. Let's stop there. Yeah, I got to get that out.
You gotta get it out.
You
got to. And
Is there a way to reverse it?
Well, they can
Once
be
deer
remounted, but then you're going to do high.
you're gonna be paying for a whole deer mount.
Yeah, I mean,
Plus a cape.
Mhm.
I mean, Kane's already in need of another cape for his wife.
Yeah, that deer's still sitting.
I've been terrible. That was a nice deer.
I know, that was her biggest one. Emma. It was her. Oh, she was not happy.
You messed it up.
I messed it up, and she was like acting like I did it on purpose. I was like, honey.
You didn't want me to have big buck.
No, but yeah, I need to get those out of my garage for sure. Then, but it's like just like you said about I don't have space. Like, same with you. You don't. I mean,
You got to take them somewhere. I mean, I've had to stick them in my brother's house.
that's what I had to put some more down.
Find a friend with a big house.
Boys, I got big walls. They need filled up.
There you go. Find a friend with big walls.
But you got to put a plaque of your name underneath.
No,
So people know.
no. This deer's gonna look like I shot it. This car wreck.
In like 15 years, somebody's going to be like, oh man, that's nice, bud.
And I'm gonna go with it.
By that time, you'll have a story down. Yeah, he was 43 yards. Shot him quarter away.
Had a rope scrape.
You guys use rope scrapes?
I put one up below my pond to see how it did. Just,
Kane's a vine guy, ain't you?
I hang vines.
like vines.
I seen what's the guy on
Midwest.
Caleb Griner.
Dude,
I
he's
see
a
him.
dog.
So I just started hanging vines. I hung a lot of them. I haven't checked them back I'll check them back in shed season or this fall when I start walking them.
The only reason I like the ropes is because they say the vines eventually do dry up.
Yeah, no, he said in there. He wants it dripping water to keep
Right.
It's basically keeping the fresh.
I've had one rope for 4 years, and they hit it every day.
Yeah, so we hung one this year up on my buddy's property, and we had hung one the previous year, hung it like late September, I think, and they never hit it. I almost think they avoided it.
Are you sure you used the right rope?
Yes.
the Manila or the.
Yeah, we got the right rope. I mean, we used the same rope this year and they hammered
Oh,
it. So, like, one thing we did different on that rope, and, why this would affect it in a negative way, I don't know. I guess I could see it both ways. But we took that rope to a deer farm and hung it up in the deer farm. And they hammered it every single day. I mean, they loved it. They didn't have
you got
any
their scent on it.
We hung that thing up, and they avoided it like the plague.
I wonder that.
There was radish. We hung it in the food plot, and the radishes literally in like a 10-foot circle around it
We're
was
growing.
They was 10 foot tall. I mean, the radish
That's weird.
didn't touch it. So like this year, but like I said, we hung it at the end of September. So I don't know if it was kind of like, you know, they can be weird sometimes. But yeah, never touched it. It got hammered this year. We left it there all year. They hammered it in the middle of that field. So it may have been the scent on that they avoided. I don't know why. But then, yeah,
I've always heard to hang them like shed season too. Not?
Yeah, I think mine up.
But I'm saying like if you're gonna put a new
Yeah,
one
you
out,
want it up during the summer, all
Yeah.
summer.
So
you hung that in
Yeah.
September. So
it was maybe a little late. But yeah, we've hung
Might
2
have
of
been
them
wrong.
now. That one we hung in September, avoided it. This new one, this summer we hung was probably like mid-July,
Yeah.
and they hammered it all year, and then they hammered the one from last year. So they both worked for
Yeah,
sure.
so I don't put scent on any of it.
Really,
I just hang it, I tear up the ground below it, and I pee in the ground below it. But I don't drink beer or anything, so I like on a water diet basically.
Yeah.
If I drank a bunch of alcohol, or if you were dipping or something, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would pee in it.
right? Because you got that extra. Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
I don't put anything on my roof.
No Bomar piss.
Believe it or not, no.
Bomar. Big Bomar.
Yeah, hey, shout out Beast Broadhead. If you're not shooting Beast Broadhead, what are you doing? You're not going to kill
Do
me.
you think we could get Josh on the podcast? Is he too big for us now?
Me and Josh are tight. I mean, he's only commented on my stuff like 10 times.
Get him here. We
Yeah.
need a famous guy on here. Yeah, he'd be the guy.
That'd blow this thing up.
He's not that big, right? I mean, Josh
Yeah,
Bowler.
he's killed 7-200s.
Well, money kills big bucks, right?
Let's not even get that started. It helps.
I mean,
It helps grow.
No,
well, you see it, Ryan. He's starting to kill these big bucks.
yeah.
Okay,
Look at his pockets. They're getting bigger down there.
Hey, one other thing I do want to talk about is, I don't know what you guys are using, Onyx, Hunt Stand, whatever. I have completely flipped a switch to Spartan Forge because of their LiDAR maps. Holy cow.
I heard you talking about that during deer camp.
You
So,
should
like,
see it on Crane.
It's-
It's crazy.
so
It's
I
sick-
wanted
it's
to.
sickening. It's sickening
So do-
how much better it is.
Do we have to pay for it? Is it? or
It's
can I get it
just
for
like
free?
Onyx and Hunt Stand. You have to pay for it. You can pay for it monthly.
It's
or yearly.
insane. I've
What are you
seen somebody.
How are you seeing it?
Somebody showed me.
I'm gonna use it, and you guys can use it. So the way it works for me is I do so much door knocking.
Mhm.
Is I literally can look if I can tell by this map if a property is even worth knocking.
Mhm.
The military hunt that I went on, the reason why I killed that 140 is because of that mapping system. I Googled into it so hard, I dug so deep of how to actually use it the correct way
Yeah.
and how to find old homesteads.
So what are you seeing on this map? I mean, obviously topo, and topo can be very hard to read, and I'm not actually. I shouldn't say hard to read because it's kind of self-explanatory. But I found, like up there at Crane in Martin County, it's very hilly, and like some of these hills, all the topo lines are the same, and all go from one to another. You know, no hill is going to be the
Right.
same. And the bench is not there.
Right.
And the steepness is not there. And then the other one that shows the same exact lines, it's straight up and down. It's like it don't show some stuff.
So
like,
LiDAR uses it's light detection.
Mhm.
I don't know the full acronym for it, but it's light detection. But it will show you how steep it is, the slope, not by using the topo numbers, but by shade. So you will know if the bench is there. You will know if it's capable of you climbing a hill. Like
It shows like old roads.
Yeah.
Old road beds.
So I've seen.
Behind
for 20 years ago.
Mhm.
For 20 years
It
ago.
shows this thing right through there, and it's like perfect.
So I've seen like short clips where like people are the advertisements basically, and I've seen like those clips, and I'm like, it looks badass basically.
It's
So I'm
putting
gonna have,
every time.
I'm gonna have to get it because that may be. I'm always trying to get a step ahead
So
up there.
you
at
know
Crane.
how, like you're like on a little, say, just like a edge of a ridge or whatever,
Mhm.
and on Crane especially, there's like little rock outcrops that you wouldn't really ever see.
Right.
Yeah.
You look on it, and it like shows you the sheer
The
where like
actual.
it would funnel deer because they couldn't walk through it.
So
Like right
And
below
that's,
it.
I mean, that's what you got to find.
it
And
goes a step further. That you can add shades to it of colors, which is what I do.
hmm
How I got away with killing the deer I did at the military base. You can go from red to yellow at different shades, and it will show you, that will tell you how steep it is. So yellow, it's tough, but
Mm-hmm.
you can get up it. red, no.
Don't
chance.
even worry
In
about
between there, no
Ryan
chance.
Helfert can't even go there.
Exactly.
That's where they're at, though.
That's
So
where they're
that's
at.
where they're at.
Dude, it's insane. It's the guy who created Spartan Forge is from the military, and that's what his job was. I think he was like a sergeant for mapping intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
So he took that from the military, created Spartan Forge, and it's honestly, I will say that like your normal satellite imagery is not as good as Hunt Stand and Onyx, but they're working on that.
Right. That's something probably to come. It's a
It's
new.
fun.
I mean, it's a new.
It's new,
Yeah.
but you don't even need it once you get the lidar.
Mm-hmm.
So
Spartan Forge.
use Google Maps for the normal.
Yeah.
Use the Spartan Forge for lidar.
Yeah, because honestly, I've used Hunt Stand ever since I started hunting.
Bingo. And it's hard because you don't want to lose your
Dude,
pins.
yeah, I know. My pin.
I keep them
I
both out in the
probably
bin
need to
before.
start some fresh. I don't know if you've seen my pin.
Yeah, I've seen them.
It's bad. But see, Hunt Stand changed their app, like updated it. Dude, that thing's junk now.
Well-
It freezes on me. I can't get anything to load.
Right.
My GPS every time. I mean, I push GPS, take me to my location. I end up in Africa. I'm like, what? No, I'm not here. So, yeah, I need something new. Maybe that's where I'll go.
So you can keep all your Hunt Stand pins without paying for it. You just
Oh,
won't
really?
be able to use in-depth features. So I keep
Well,
Hunt
I mean,
Stand
what-
for
Hunt
that
Stand's
reason.
like,
Onyx
what?
same way.
$24 a year. I
Yeah.
mean, I'll just keep both.
I think Spartan
Shoot,
Forge.
your pockets are deep too.
$24 a year.
Paying for stuff you don't need.
Yeah, I think Spartan Forge is $8 a month, or you could pay like one bigger sum for the year.
Mm-hmm. $8 a month. Oh,
Cheap.
So probably
Can't afford not.
probably
to.
$60 a year if I had to get.
Mm.
It's worth
That's
it.
cheaper than Onyx.
It's worth it. Yeah, it's cheaper than Onyx and Hunt Stand.
wait.
That's how
Is that for state or
Hunt
like?
Stand's $20.
No, it
It's
used to
not?
be. When it first came out, I thought the same thing. I thought I was paying.
You mean they didn't notify me
$20.
that they
You're
upped
paying,
the
you're
charge?
paying over 60.
No.
Yeah.
I need to get one of those apps that tell me what I'm spending money on.
Monarch.
Monarch.
You need to get
Got it?
You need to get off TikTok. You've seen that.
I don't have TikTok. Speaking of TikTok, have you seen Lane's TikTok? It got like 200,
Yeah.
280 some
Oh
thousand.
yeah, I was commenting all kinds of people on that thing.
Oh yeah, there's people
I was
talking
blowing,
shit.
I was blowing it up.
Was you really?
That's why I got some.
I gotta get on there and look.
I can't even remember what his video was.
It was of the deer in the basement.
That's right.
Yeah, or one of his videos. I didn't know he had TikTok until he told me he got a lot of views, and I was like, I'm gonna check this out.
Yeah, it blew up.
That's when I got TikTok.
That's when everybody was like, "Oh, we're coming to Indiana and leasing property because Lane Miller's over here killing 160s everywhere."
You think that?
That's what people were saying on it.
Oh my!
Guys
the world.
in Illinois were saying they're on their way.
We better wrap this, baby. Yeah, we're approaching an hour, but we appreciate you coming up and talking. I'm sure we'll have to have you on again. And
Before you get off here, what are the Hoosiers odds? I know this isn't deer hunting. What are the Hoosiers odds this weekend? If you-
Boys, Notre Dame can run the football, but IU has the #1 running defense in the nation, and we have the second best quarterback in this college football playoff.
All right.
IU by 10.
All right, you heard it there, Ryan.
I need to get this out before Friday night.
At least bet the spread on that. 7.5.
All right.
That's free money.
Hammer it.
Hammer it. All right, thank you.